I was wondering if you could tell me what kind of startups you like to invest in. Is there a theme that you're very interested in?
Well, Norwest Venture Partners is a $1.2 billion fund. It's our 11th fund, so we've been in business for 50 years. So we're very diversified. We have about 75 companies in our portfolio today.
Okay.
My specific areas of interest are in 4 themes, which is all related to data, but as it relates to consumer and to small businesses. So the things that I like to invest in, one is fintech. So anything to do with financial technologies, I'm very enthusiastic about. 2 is e-commerce, how the proliferation of data can make you into a better consumer or leverage data so you can actually make better decisions that are consuming products. So e-commerce in general. The other one is education. I think there's a lot of data proliferation around how you learn, and to garner that and to make use of it and process it in the proper way so that people can learn faster and more efficiently is actually a very interesting theme.
Yeah.
And then finally, like I said, it's a general theme of mine is how this consumerization of technology can actually be applied to the small and medium-sized businesses. Not just the enterprise. We focus on that as well at Norwest, but my specific area of focus is on small and medium-sized business technologies via the consumerization of technology. So there's plenty of examples of very, very successful companies that have done that.
And where's the office based?
We have an office, our main office is in Palo Alto. However, we have also 2 India offices.
Right.
We have Israel, and we're opening an office in China as well.
And so obviously you invest in startups in all those diverse areas, those countries?
Absolutely. Our stage of focus is relatively wide. We have a lot of flexibility given the size of our fund, but also the fact that we ourselves have been entrepreneurs in the past.
Right.
So we can go as early as a couple of folks in a garage all the way to growth equity investments. And we have examples in the last year and 2 and 3 that we've done that wide of a spectrum.
Great.
And it works. Some of us focus on certain specific areas. Some of our team is focused on growth. Some of our team is focused on venture. But in general, I think we have a pretty wide ability to serve customers.
Sounds great.
Our entrepreneurs.
Yes, yeah. And I have an interest and a focus on women or female startups.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, does Norwest have any female startups that they've invested in the past? Or?
Yeah, I was thinking through that question, and in fact, I just had a company called DealMap that was led by a woman that we sold to Google, and I'm very proud of her, Jennifer Dulski. She was a fantastic woman CEO. That's one, but if we go through across the 75 different startups, I can think of many that we've funded that have either a female CEO or female executives on them. So it's very much something that we do. We don't focus specifically on have a theme around women, but we've invested and we've had success, especially recently with women CEOs.
That's great. And one more thing that I'm interested in, what would you consider qualities of a good pitch if an entrepreneur comes to pitch to you? What's required? What really makes you stand up and pay attention?
Well, I think we tend to, especially in the early stages, we tend to fund teams, high quality teams.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people should focus on their qualifications as a founding team, but also the passion, the ability to articulate a very clear strategy and vision. So that's very important. Market size is also as important, and there's many ways to articulate that in a pitch. The way I prefer to do it is both from a bottoms-up perspective. So can you actually multiply all the units, price, and get to a market size that makes sense from a bottoms-up perspective, but also from a top-down perspective? Do you understand the global nature of the industry and how it segments down to where you could address it?
Okay, and so those would be the major pieces that would make you pay attention.
Yeah, market. I mean, in the early stages, we tend to focus a lot on team. Market size. The solution is also important, but many companies we've seen with great teams can meander and can pivot into the right solution.
Yeah.
Now, on the later stages, growth equity, absolutely we need to spend a lot of time on the financials and the financial the operating leverage of the company. So, can it be profitable? If it's not today, can it be in the future? How has the growth been? How does the revenue, the quality of revenue, is it good revenue, bad revenue? So all of that we spend a lot of time on in the growth equity side.
Right.
However, on the early stages, there's not much to go by, but team and focus around the market is pretty important.
So great tip. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy the conference today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.